Well, dozens of you were in Canton High School's auditorium to honor and celebrate a civil rights icon today. A Mississippi Freedom Trailblazer marker has been unveiled for the late Annie Devine. The Canton woman played a pivotal role helping us enjoy the freedoms we have today, including the right to vote. 3 News Side's Quentin Smith tells you how Devine's works are still impacting us today.
When you think and talk about the role Mississippi played in the civil rights movement, you can't mention it without talking about Annie Devine. Though she was small in stature, she was a giant. She kicked down the doors and paved the way for people of all genders and races, especially African Americans. Though it's been more than 2 decades since she died, people are still doing everything they can to make sure she's not forgotten. Annie Devine.
We stand on her shoulders. She is a giant.
She means so much to so many people.
The work that she put in, myself and others have benefited greatly from that.
And she's still making a difference, although she's no longer here.
She had a spirit of servanthood.
For Barbara Devine Reed, she's overjoyed seeing and hearing about the lasting impact her mother leaves behind. Although Devine is getting all of the attention on this day, it wasn't anything she cared about. What she cared for was fighting for equal and civil rights in the segregated South. She devoted herself to fighting for voting rights.
Started out right here in Canton, organizing for voter registration at a time when less than 100 people in Canton were registered to vote, and that was in 1963, and out of a population of about 10,000. So, and at a time when it was dangerous for her to be doing this.
But Devine didn't let those dangers stop her. Instead, they fueled her. She helped form the Mississippi Freedom Democratic Party in 1964. It served as an independent political party that gave African Americans a voice in Mississippi politics.
We had didn't have the right to vote. And so we could not vote and we couldn't participate in the political process.
However, Devine was determined to change that. During the Mississippi Freedom Democratic Party convention in Madison County, Devine, alongside civil rights activists Fannie Lou Hamer and Victoria Gray, were selected to be delegates to go to the Democratic National Convention in Atlantic City, New Jersey in 1964. The women were chosen to challenge the seating of 3 white delegates from the state's Democratic Party.
And those 3 women, Mrs. Devine, Mrs. Hamer, and Mrs. Gray, strolled on the House of Representatives floor to be seated. It was nothing short of a miracle.
Though they lost their challenge, their courageous efforts brought about a sweeping change. See, the party was offered 2 at-large seats. Then, in 1965, President Lyndon B. Johnson signed the Voting Rights Act of 1965 into law. It removed race-based restrictions on voting, leading to more African Americans registering to vote.
Mrs. Devine is responsible for me standing in Madison County as the first elected official post or pre-Reconstruction.
When it comes to Flunzy Brown Wright, Devine was her mentor, and she was actually the person who convinced her to get into politics.
Mrs. Devine telling me I was going to run. She didn't ask me, she said the community has endorsed you.
She says Devine is the reason African Americans are now able to run and be elected on the Democratic ticket. In light of her sacrifices, bravery, and courageous efforts.
3, 2, 1. All right.
This Freedom Trail marker is unveiled in her honor.
If it wasn't for people like Miss Devine, we wouldn't have rights and privileges for women, immigrants, disabled people, even veterans, you know? Not just voting rights, but really just like rights, society rights, rights in the workplace.
John Spann is with the Mississippi Humanities Council. They helped make this a reality, making sure Devine's name, just like her legacy, is forever etched in history.
It is important and imperative to continue her legacy, because if we want to make a better America, we want to make a better Mississippi for all people, we have to continue the legacy that she put forth for us, the blueprint that she set for us.
The permanent location for Annie Devine's marker will be outside the Madison County Courthouse. It's expected to be in place for everyone to see by March 1st. Quentin Smith, 3 on your side.